Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're peeling back the layers on a very complex and, frankly, a deeply worrying crisis unfolding across West Africa.
It is. We're seeing local criminality really escalate into a regional geopolitical flashpoint.
And we're tracking a stack of sources detailing these mass abductions in Nigeria and the related volatility that's gripping the Sahel just over the last 2 weeks.
Our mission here is really to synthesize the facts, to understand the security challenges, the very different governmental and international responses, and how these crises all connect.
How they connect to the shifting global power dynamics in places like Mali and Niger.
Exactly.
Before we dive in, a quick word from our sponsor, ProWave AI, which powers the next generation of predictive logistics.
And a note for you. The customized intelligence we're delivering today comes from the Stylo News Analysis application.
Okay, so let's unpack the facts. Starting in Nigeria, the sheer scale of the mass kidnappings just in the last fortnight is, well, it's staggering.
It truly is. We saw over 300 students and staff taken from St. Mary's Catholic School in Niger State.
And that came right after similar abductions of schoolgirls in Kebbi and even worshippers in Kwara State.
The national response has been dramatic. President Tinubu declared a nationwide security emergency.
What does that entail exactly?
Crucially, he ordered the reemployment of police officers from VIP protection back to core duties. And he's authorized 50,000 new recruits.
And that redeployment point is huge. If you look at the source material, the estimates suggest over 100,000 officers
There's an incredible number.
were previously assigned just to protecting high-value individuals. I mean, that figure alone tells you everything about where priorities were and why local security might have crumbled.
It absolutely does. And this security vacuum, it's feeding the crisis. While the government officially blames, known jihadist groups like Boko Haram,
The analysts are saying something different.
They strongly attribute many of these recent abductions to local criminal bandit gangs who are focused purely on ransom.
And regardless of who is pulling the trigger, the impact on the ground is devastatingly simple.
Fear.
Just fear. And widespread school closures in at least 10 northern states. We're looking at a spiraling humanitarian crisis.
The projections are grim. Record hunger levels for possibly 35 million people by mid-2026.
So when we look at the proposed solutions domestically, we're seeing some real friction.
Yes, a major disagreement. The northern governors are demanding the immediate creation of state police, a move that would decentralize power.
And they're also pushing for a 6-month ban on mining, right, to cut off criminal financing.
That's the argument. Meanwhile, the federal government is maintaining its emphasis on intensified, centralized military operations and security reform.
So how are the international players viewing this internal dispute?
They are polarized. The U.S., under President Trump and Secretary Rubio, threatened military action and imposed visa restrictions.
Citing violence against Christians.
Right, a claim which Nigeria refutes, arguing it's fighting criminality that affects all demographics.
And on the other side, the Europeans.
Well, the EU Agency for Asylum specifically highlighted that massive misallocation of police to VIP detail. So they're effectively endorsing President Tinubu's decision to reassign those forces.
And this failure of domestic security, it feels like the thread that connects Nigeria to the broader regional nexus.
It is. You have widespread instability, confirmed by the recent military coup in Guinea-Bissau, which of course follows the takeovers in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger.
And this is where the global power plays become really visible.
Niger, for example, is asserting its sovereignty. It's nationalized and has begun selling its uranium internationally.
All while there are these serious accusations against Francis Orano about radioactive pollution left behind near Matuela.
And that security vacuum left by Western troop withdrawals is being filled rapidly.
By non-Western partners.
Exactly. Mali is now relying heavily on Russian Africa Corps mercenaries. That fundamentally changes the security calculus. And Turkey is expanding its influence, supplying drones and training.
And what's significant here, I think, is that the EU specifically warns that this expansion of jihadist influence across the Sahel is a direct threat to European security itself.
The alliances are being completely redrawn in real time. What's fascinating is realizing how quickly stability in West Africa shifted from a local problem to a global resource and proxy conflict.
So what does this all mean for you? This entire deep dive, cutting through hundreds of news reports to deliver this kind of context-rich intelligence, was analyzed and synthesized by Stylo News.
Stylo is a mobile and computer application. It uses advanced AI to analyze traditional news and social media like X, delivering these personal intelligence-style briefs, all with source citations.
It provides you with the context you need to understand how these huge geopolitical forces connect to local crises.
It converts just vast amounts of raw data into clear, concise insights, and it does it in seconds.
If you value getting AI-powered news on demand and want this caliber of insight delivered right to you, subscribe to Stylo News today at www.stylonews.com. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.
As we conclude, just consider this thought. If the security solution relies on creating decentralized state police, but the underlying crisis is driven by the centralized hunger of 35 million people, can any security force, state or federal, possibly succeed without first addressing that basic need for food?
A question for you to mull over. We encourage you to request topics for future deep dives and, of course, follow Stylo News on social media. We'll see you next time.